So listeners, let me play for you, Mr. Buchanan. Let me play for you, Mr. Buchanan. Okay.
That's why we as a nation need to come together and recognize that when parliament business is going on, you can't be political with the interests of Jamaica. And so the contributions coming from Mark Jefferson Golden, opposition leader, invaluable. Receptive, I think, and I'm gonna say it, I think that the King's counsels in the room, both Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, and King's Counsel Malahu Ford, and even Senior Counsel Miss Dalrymple. They are legal minds in the room, and I'm sure they would give them guidance in relation to where there are gaps in the legislation. And the hope is that come Tuesday, there will be improvement. I expect to see a definition of resilience. Because if it's not there, the whole government dons.
You hear that? The whole government dons. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know that I could get into representational politics, you know. When you see the Jamaica Labour Party, there is a lesson that I want them to learn. There are some people that you must campaign hard to keep them out of parliament. Labour Party supporters, you love your party, you better wake up. You might call the whole party government dunce. Listen, this administration, led by Prime Minister Holness, is one of the most qualified in Jamaica's history. When you are doing a campaign, you see, you have to look at the candidates. And there are some candidates you must nothing go in a parliament. You have to do what you have to do. And me no need to I don't need to say nothing more. You have to do what you have to do. You can't go in there. This is a battle, you know. It's a political battle, and it's also a battle of the minds. Politics are not fool people, you know. Politics are serious business. And when you get a man like Isaac beating Miss Anne-Marie Vatt, should never happen. The Labour Party, I don't know how the Labour Party allowed that to happen. You understand what I'm saying to you? Anyway, the man is saying that the whole government are dunce. Well, he's not saying that the government does, but he must say that if the government can define. Come on now, Mr. Buchanan. And Your Holiness is a scholar. Dr. Chang is a medical doctor. Delroy Chuck is a Rhodes Scholar. The Minister of Education, moderator, I'm going to ask you if you could just give me the list of the names of the cabinet ministers. The man you're bright. The shadow cabinet of the People's National Party is no match for the Jamaica Labour Party shadow cabinet. Mr. Isaac Buchanan out of order. What do you mean the government don'ts? I mean don'ts. And then, you know, and this is a problem I have with the party. People don't want me to criticize the party, but I have to. Isaac shouldn't win that seat. Mr. Buchanan should never have won that seat. The party should have locked down tight like a sardine can, like Mr. Siaga said. You should have locked down Eastern Portland. Tight. Can't lose. You do whatever you have to do, you do. And that's what the game have to play. So the game have to play. Can't go in a parliament. Sometimes you have to play a little politics, you know. Sometimes you have to play a little politics. You have to kind of jump into the ring and make them know what. Go on. This man going to cause problem. Like a Miss Burchell. How Miss Burchell get into the parliament? Mr. Man, I want to talk to Mr. Homer Davis, you know. I look at Miss Burchell. You don't get Miss Burchell in a parliament, man. You lock down Southern St. James. Lock it down. You understand what I'm saying to you? Same how you lock down Central Manchester. Lock out some people out of parliament. You should have locked out Mr. Buchanan. Dr. Holness. Man has a doctorate. The brightest man in the parliament. Dr. Chang. Most Honorable Dr. Chang. Former Minister of Health. Dr. Chang is a medical doctor. Favour Williams. Send me the shadow cabinet for the PNP there. A shadow cabinet name our break front. Send me the break front, the PNP break front. Favour Williams. Studied abroad. One of the brightest financial minds on the island. Kamina Johnson Smith. Our best Minister of Foreign Affairs in Jamaica's history. Dunce? Boy, I tell you something. There's a liberty really come through carelessness. And this man is going to insinuate that the government of the Jamaica Labour Party, dunce. You, Mr. Buchanan, you're rude. What a man rude. Babsy Grange, Edmund Bartlett, the best tourism minister in Jamaica's history. Floyd Green. Sir Green is a lawyer. Christopher Tufton. He has a PhD. The best health minister. Montague, Mackenzie, Darrell Vaz, Pernell Charles Jr. He's a lawyer. Delroy Chuck. He's a lawyer, Rhodes Scholar, mathematician, used to lecture at the Norman Manley Law School, Dunce, Aubin Hill, former CEO at NCB, Kamina Johnson Smith, Rhodes Scholar. She has a PhD. Matthew Samuda, Dr. Wheatley, he has a PhD. And I could go on, Audrey Marks, not to mention the Senate. How Dunce come this up? Party should have locked out Mr. Buchanan from now. And I don't know. Anyway, sometimes a little bit disappointed, you know, but I can't express the disappointment here. The fact of the matter is that the People's National Party is no match for the Labour Party when it comes on to intelligence. No match. There's no match. The Jamaica Labour Party's cabinet is a far superior cabinet to any we have had. And we have had good cabinets. All right. I'm having a little bit of problem with my screen here. Let me see if we can adjust that. No, that's not even better. Moderator, I don't know what's happening to my thing here. I tell you the truth. Okay, let's see if we can work with that. Okay, See if you can work with that. Okay? Now, let's go back to Mr. Buchanan. Let's go back to Mr. Buchanan. Go ahead.
And that's my submission on that. Or I hope I explain what I thought was what was problematic for the bill.
So, in an effort to how receptive is the ruling party to the contributions of the opposition?
So I'm not a hypocrite. I'm gonna say this to you. It has to be an embarrassing feat when the opposition leader gets up on his feet and he is a master drafter. I'm not saying this. But when the opposition leader,
I don't know about no master drafter. Mr. Golding is a master drafter. I don't know about that. Anyway, you say Golding a master drafter.
gets up and he criticizing and he goes line by line, clause by clause, and they cut off his mic, very disrespectful, shut him down, and he wasn't even able to finish with what was wrong. And he was kind enough to, because I sat with the party leader, and showed him what.
No. So Mr. Golding must just chat. Mr. Golding must just be allowed to chat in the parliament because his name Mark Golding. Who is Mr. Golding? Eh? Who is Mr. Golding? Mr. Golding is the opposition leader. Yes, we know that. We respect that. But the opposition leader is allotted time. So you stay in your time. You can't blame the speaker for enforcing the parliamentary rules. That is not disrespect. If you say to the opposition leader you have half an hour, and when half an hour come, you cut him off, that's not disrespect, Mr. Buchanan. That's following procedure. And you are a lawyer, you should know that. You can't go into the court, go just do what you want. The judge will not allow it. When you went to the Privy Council to defend Vybz Kartel, you never had to abide by some rules in the court? The speaker is not being rude. No, that's not true. Let's listen a little bit more to him.
I thought were things that were inadequate, and we had conversations. So just the ability to even have a conversation with somebody who is actually competent is much needed in a space where legislating, drafting for the future of Jamaica is taking place. Were they receptive? Of course they're receptive, but it is an embarrassing feat. But that's why we as a nation need to come together and recognize that when parliament business is going on, you can't be political with the interests of Jamaica.
No, that's a contradiction. When parliament business is going on, you can't be political with it. But what is the PNP doing? Is the PNP not playing politics here, Mr. Buchanan? Is it not playing politics with the Nara bill?
And so the contributions coming from Mark Jefferson Golding, opposition leader, invaluable. Receptive, I think, and I'm gonna say it, I think that the King's counsels in the room, both Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, and King's Counsel Malahoo Ford, and even Senior Counsel Miss Dalrymple. They are legal minds in the room, and I'm sure they would give them guidance in relation to where there are gaps in the legislation, and the hope is that come Tuesday there will be improvement. I expect to see a definition of resilience, because if it's not there, the whole government does.
That's an overreach, and that's rude. Mr. Isaac Buchanan is a parliamentarian. And that's not parliamentary language. Well, Mr. Buchanan was not in parliament, but for Mr. Buchanan to be insinuating that the whole government don't. You see the problem I have with the party? They've not picked up that yet. For this This is wrong. You can't be calling the government dunce. This is the quality of parliamentarians we have. The whole government dunce. I think this needs a response. We have lowered the politics. The whole government dunce. It's ridiculous. You know, we may be setting up ourselves for something that we can't handle, you know. And when we take up people like Mr. Isaac Buchanan and put him in our parliament, this is what we get. People like Miss Nikisha Burchell talk about yamhead. There was an insinuation in the parliament that the speaker was a yamhead. When you put people like these in the parliament, the sacred halls of parliament, this is what you get. And we're going to have to ask ourselves, have we made a mistake? And I think we have. Because it begins with the recruiting process. How do we recruit people for parliament? What are their history? What are their values? What does it take to become a member of parliament in Jamaica? The highest decision-making body in the country. And one of them is on an interview saying government may be a dunce. The whole government dunce. That's what we get when we bury our heads in the sand and think that everybody who applied to parties must become member of parliament. And as I said earlier, and I will say it again, some people should be locked out of the parliament. Lock them out. Party can put up who they want to put up. The government will lock them out. Our standards are getting low and lower, and especially low from this set of PNP members of parliament. I'll have more to say on that. Let's go forward.
And I don't associate dunce with my name. So big and bad, beat my chest to say, you must have a definition.
No, associate dunce with him. Big and bad, beat me chest. This is a parliamentarian, you know. Big and bad, beat your chest in associate dunce with government. Wow. Wow, Jamaica. I tell you something. Let's listen a little bit more.
And an intellect will take it one step further to say that disaster resilience is also a term that is to be defined. But you have a legislation and you don't know whether the minister or the prime minister have certain powers. And even if the minister and the prime minister is one and the same, you still need to identify for clarity. Because the Minister of Finance also participates in some of the workings of the legislation. So you can't just be running around saying minister, minister, minister. Because he's not going to be the prime minister forever. When I ask Christ, may I tell you that?
You hear that? Them plan to move out, Andrew. No, sir. Boy, I tell you, me not ask Christ. Me not ask Christ. Huh?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Me not ask Christ. You know, they doubted him in 2011. They doubted him in 2016. They even doubted him in 2020 and 2025. And his 3 terms, he has won. 3 terms. And me now ask Christ, Mr. Buchanan, you can walk into the Prime Minister's shoes. Me now ask Christ. But by the way, what does that term mean? Me now ask Christ. What I mean? Let me not even sound blasphemous. I will not let people say that. Me now ask Christ. Think about the absurdity of that, by the way, because who said the Prime Minister is going to be Prime Minister forever? Who said that? Unless God come. At some point, neighbor rights and labor rights and comrades, the Prime Minister's time in office will come to an end. But is the Prime Minister going to determine that? Not Mr. Buchanan and not the PNP. Is the Prime Minister will decide that. Listen to that. You hear? Mr. Buchanan can't determine when the Prime Minister leave office. The Prime Minister will determine that himself, because he now lose no election. Prime Minister will not lose any election in Jamaica. So don't talk about ask right. You can't replace him, you can't overthrow him, you can't do nothing to the most honorable 1 p.m. Rogad. Nothing at all. He will stay there until he decide not to run again. And when he decide not to run again, he will give the country to one of the Young Turks, and they will win their own mandate. PNP not coming back into power for now. Since I was no want to. A war we want, a war we get. Una look war, a war we want, a war we go get. Oh boy, I tell you the truth. It's fascinating. A war we want, a war we go get. Una look war, then make we turn up war pound. Wholeness now leave out of power yet. Okay? Just ease on yourself and go and take on a beating. One by one, una go lose. One by one, una go lose. Okay? So, Bill, easy. Don't make we have to turn up the pressure. Okay, with that, you see how we are easy. We're not Andre Stevens over here. We're not dramatic like Mr. Andre Stevens. Hello, Mr. Stevens. How are you doing, sir? And we're not Rosalie. And we don't say gyno technical. We don't talk about gyno technical. Hello, Rosalie. How are you doing? Rosalie say, but I tell you the truth. Rosalie says she go into our gyna technical. Wow.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. By the way, time is going for me. Let me stop the joking, okay? And listen to a little bit more of it.
Yeah.
There was something that you were going to ask, Provost.
Yeah, no, go ahead, finish. I have a couple of questions, but
No, as prompting you actually.
oh, okay, all right, fine. Good. One of the questions that and this is a premature question, but I just out of respect for the person asking it, and if one person is asking it, then maybe other people are thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask, will the PNP take the government to court if NARA is passed? If the NARA bill...
No, listen to this carefully. Very, very important. I'm going to be dealing with this. Good afternoon, Power Man. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Good afternoon, sir. Good evening.
Powerman, could you please unmute your mic, please?
Yes, good evening, neighbor.
Good evening to you, sir. Hi, haven't heard from you in a while. What's happening?
Yes, neighbor. I was so busy catching up with the work at my
You're busy caught up with the work.
Yes, neighbor. So sometimes I don't have no time to scratch my head, but
Okay.
you know, I'm getting a little break now. So I'm still flying up what is going on. Sometimes I just browse through, but cannot say hi. But you know, this evening I have the time, and you know, a lot of people, you know, are in the comments that they're glad to hear me back and all those things.
You bet, yeah.
Yeah, I miss this show. I miss this show so much, you know.
You do?
Know, this show is a part of me, you know.
You do miss the show.
Yeah, I miss the show. Never.
By the way, you realize that the sagacious prime minister is under attack again? The sagacious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, neighbor. I type a word in the comment for the People National Party. You know, the JLP members are sagacious, you know, and the PNP are nagacious.
They're nagacious?
It's nagacious versus sagacious, neighbor.
What that mean now? What nagacious mean?
Nagacious when person are trivial, neighbor, petty, and those are the People National Party.
Oh, they're petty.
Yes, they are nagacious.
I think they're more than petty. There's another word that rhyme with that, but we can't say it on here.
Yeah, they're nagacious, neighbor.
I tell you the truth, you can't say it on a Sunday evening program. They're not petty. There's another word that rhymes with petty. You know it?
Yes, I know.
Oh God.
Neighbor,
yes, sir.
Neighbor, in our country, no neighbor, whenever a party is in power like the JLP and doing a good job in a neighbor, you see, because I tell you that the PNP are full of acrimony, you know.
Yes, sir.
Whenever the JLP is stamping their growing authority and try to elevate this country forward, they're not gonna like it in a neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Because they want them to fail, for them to celebrate and say, yes, look what is going on. We want to be in power. But under this leadership of the great sagacious prime minister, neighbor, it's not gonna happen.
The sagacious prime minister is not gonna lose, eh?
Not gonna lose, neighbor.
Not true. Yeah, I agree with you.
They're stamping their ground.
Yeah.
They're stamping their ground, neighbor.
I think he's going to get 5 terms, you know. I think he's gonna do 5 terms. 5.
Neighbor is gonna be there until when he say neighbor.
No, 5 terms.
He's doing a fantastic job, and I can tell you that all over the world, neighbor.
Yes.
People are praising this man.
Yes, sir.
He's getting a lot of praises.
I agree with you.
He's getting a lot of praises, but opposition are the opposition young member of parliament. They are the reason why they when they are seated in parliament is because they are snalligosters.
They are what, sir?
Snalligosters.
No. Let me put on my earphone because I'm not hearing you so well at all. You said they are what?
They are snalligosters.
Snolligosters.
Yes, neighbor.
Now, what is that?
They go around and look for example, in Eastern Portland.
Snolligosters.
Yeah,
Isaac Buchanan is a snolligoster?
Yeah, Mrs. Bard was a very assiduous worker, and only a snolligoster can get around because they go around with their snolligosters activities and
No, but you're going to have to help us define the word snolligoster. What is snolligoster? Yeah. Hold on there for me, sir. Hold on. There's a snolligosters them.
Oh gosh.
What a set of snolligoster them. Help us with that definition, no?
Yes, neighbor. Snolligoster of a politician that is full of trickery, neighbor. They're full of trickery. What they do,
yes, snolly. You know, Mark Wallen is a snolligoster. Hello?
Yes, neighbor.
Use it in a sentence for me, no, please.
Majority of the young member of parliament in the People's National Party, they are snolligosters.
You're so nice.
Oh gosh.
Are you so nice? My God, are you so nice? Are we
It
nice?
is,
Sir?
it is so true, neighbor. It is so true, sir. Because only Snally Costa would upset, would go around and trick the people,
Yes,
good with the people, and upset a lady like Miss Vaz.
yes.
Mr. Slowly in somewhere in St. Elizabeth there. Mr. Sibley's down in Clarendon.
Yes.
They're all Snally Costas.
Wow. Well, sir, I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. I think you're up to something there. So, you're up to something there. So, the snollygoster, boy, I tell you.
Yes, neighbor.
Anyway, I tell you something. You have to come back. I'm gonna wrap up the notes and then I come bring you back. You hear?
Yes, neighbor. Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, nice man. Nice to hear from our good friend,
Yes, neighbor.
Power Man. Yeah. Snollygosters. The People's National Party are snollygosting on the political hosting. Is that? The comrades are snollygosting on the political hostings. They are a set of snollygosters and they walk around. So when they must snail. You know, I tell you the truth. Boy. The snollygosters will be in Parliament on Tuesday. The snollygosters will be in Parliament this Tuesday when the NARA bill will be debated. I tell you the truth. Let us go back to Mr. Buchanan and wrap up this. Remember, we leave you at 8 o'clock. It's 22 minutes to 7.
That is passed is unsatisfactory to the people. Will they do it like they did with MIDS? Something to that effect. Will they do it?
Well, I will say this. The answer to that absolutely will be yes, because if government think them bad, pass a legislation that is breaching constitutional rights, and if
you see that, if government think them bad, pass the NARA bill. If the government think them bad, pass it. If the government think them bad, pass the NARA bill. That is what Mr. Buchanan is saying. Guess what? And he tells us.
And I will be the first one to challenge it. So that question you don't have to ask. What I know is we've had legislation that's come to the table, and so far since I've been in my short stint, they did the Jury Amendment Act, and they had some absurd amendments to the legislation, and it was called out, and with good sense prevailed, and it was completely removed. Aspects of it would go to the joint select. Our party leader has said the NARA needs to go to a joint select. We will see if guidance sought, amendments attempted, and if it comes to the floor. And I don't have no problem reading it right there on the floor. I'm not short of reading. So when it comes, we will look, we will deliberate, and if you're going to pass it, we will say nay, they will pass it through, and then it's a win in court and an embarrassment for the government, because we seldom lose when we take the government to court for nonsense.
You hear that? Mr. Buchanan is actually prejudging the court's decision. It's a win for the PNP. When it got to court, the judiciary, which is independent, Mr. Buchanan is saying that if the matter go to court, is a win for the party. I wonder if you hear that. The implications of this is monumental. I cannot believe what I just heard. So confident is Mr. Buchanan that he's saying if the matter goes to court, is a win for the government, is a win for the PNP. How does he know that? How does Mr. Buchanan know that the judges are going to rule in favor of the PNP? You see that country here? You see that country here? No, I'm not casting any aspersions on the judiciary. I will never do that. But there's a matter that is very concerning here. I think that give me a second there. We will win. When a political actor says we'll win before the matter is even heard, it raises questions about we speak about the judiciary. Courts are not extension of political strategy, you know. There's what we call separation of powers. Separation of powers. The judiciary, the legislature, the executive, separate arms. The judiciary, they are independent arbiters to speak of outcomes, predetermined. Now, what is the public to say? This is, you see, the public, you know, man. The public must have confidence in the neutrality of the judiciary, a healthy democracy. You don't argue your case. You argue it before the judges and let them make the decision. How is Mr. Buchanan suggesting that that the PNP will win if the matter go to court? Well, the people of Jamaica want to sit down there and not open their eyes and see what is happening. All I can do is point it out to you. All I can do is point it out to you. Now, Mr. Protecting Jamaica, Mr. Protecting Jamaica had some thoughts on a matter. I wanna listen to him again. I want you to listen to him, and then I'm gonna
tonight, Protecting Jamaica.
I'm gonna ask him to help me with something.
How are we going to move forward, advance our development under a system, under a democracy where the opposition is antithetical, tearing down, poisoning the minds of people, and really wants to rule over the ashes? In other words, it is not in the opposition's best interest for the government to prosper. How do we advance under these conditions?
Neighbor, good night again, everybody. And I've been looking at Sierra May. Good night, JPU. And glad to have you here. The view I hold is the government can survive in this kind of antagonistic kind of environment. But survival is not going to happen while doing the same usual thing or taking the same usual approaches.
Oh,
and you mentioned there has to be another approach, and I'm gonna paint a picture, because you mentioned Singapore before, and Scratchy rightly highlighted that Lee Kuan Yew took some dictatorial positions in order to hold power and to be able to influence the changes that he wanted to implement. But if you notice in that scenario, the people of Singapore did not end up hating Lee Kuan Yew.
As a matter of fact, sir, at his funeral in the rain, nearly 2 million people lined the streets.
Right. Why? I have said this before countless times. What Lee Kuan Yew, the approach he used when he started power and maintained the same approach right throughout his period of being in power, was something or is something that wasn't generally practiced in democracies or even in dictatorships. That approach is needed now. What approach am I talking about?
Tell us.
Every step of the way, the plans were developed, and before any implementation, he brought it to the people.
Yes.
He started in the high schools and in the universities. And he had lectures in the high schools and in the universities. He started there. Why did he start there? My assumption is because that is what was born out of all of this. He started in the schools because once he began to have the conversations about the next journey and how we were going to get to the destination, once you begin to have that with children, they were now going to go home to the parents.
Yes, sir.
And so those discussions now will form part of family time. And because those discussions would form part of family time, by the time he went nationally with these discussions, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunties would already be exposed to these ideas that was shared with them by nieces, nephews, children, grandchildren, and the likes. But more so, because of most of these changes that he wanted to implement had to do with the future of the country. Discussing them among school goers, university students, whether you just started or you were close to leaving university, because these changes were going to affect these young people. It made sense to have the discussions with them so they could understand the future that you are creating for them. And in doing so, even though there's a dictator run countries, a sham elections they have, but in doing so, what you have is sort of a national movement and a national buy-in to the plans that you're putting in place, because the people now see that these things you're putting in place was going to benefit us. And because they took that approach, it was always a soft landing for Lee Kuan Yew. And because of that, Singapore survived even its dictatorial tendencies. And today we talk about Singapore as the poster child of development because it is important to do so. I don't refer.
So what is Jamaica to do? Because having said that,
my position.
Are you not agreeing? Are you not agreeing that our process of development is slowed by the adversarial politics?
Yes, but the opposition can beat up in chess and their chess all they want. Even if it was 32-31 and they felt powerful, if the approach, it takes time, because it took Lee Kuan Yew a lot of time. It took time and it took resources to put on these lectures. But if you do the hard part first, then the implementation will be the easy part. No. The PMP can beat up them chest all them want about any issue. If the government goes on the ground to the people, discussing the way forward, how we are going to get there and where really is the destination. It will not matter what the PMP want to say, because the people would have now been fed a healthy diet of a progressive direction that will impact them positively. And we have always been about this, neighbor. We have always discussed it. If you cannot bring the people along politically, you are squandering your time in office. But bringing the people along, especially with the kind of population we have, where we still have the marginals as it relates to education. You think, neighbor, look at the difference between the parishes that were ravaged by Melissa, run by PMP, as opposed to JNP. Scratchy mentioned earlier, leadership. It's not that the people in Black River or other parts of St. Elizabeth are not having the same issues that the people over in Eastern Hanover are having, but the leadership that is on the ground, smart leadership, deliberate leadership, confident leadership, you're seeing a difference in outcomes and a difference in behavior in these parishes. In St. James, Miss Birchall talks about what happened up in South St. James in the hills. But remember, the entire South St. James washed down into Central St. James down a bottom road. You're not hearing the same kind of nonsense where she up in the bush I talk about, and everything we washed down out of the bush did have to clean up from down a bottom. But leadership again. Leadership. It means that I saw Floyd Green on the ground every day, before and after Melissa. That says something. You have to go to the people, talk to the people, make the people feel like, yes, we understand what had happened and we know you were ravaged, but I'm here with you, and this is where we are going, and this is how we are going to get there. Once people understand, even though their plights might continue a particular way, each time them feel frustrated and flustered with the situation that remains, they will remind themselves that the MP says that this is where we're going. It's going to take some time. So let us hold true to this. Stay focused. Stay the path, and we will get there. So
okay. Yes, protected. So we cannot get rid of the adversarial politics we have. The opposition will remain adversarial, they will remain critical, combative.
So you work around
the
it.
Government too. How?
But I just tell you, the government need to see the importance. Hello, JIS. I remember somebody asked the Prime Minister a question a particular time, a couple of weeks ago, me see. Prime Minister referred to JIS. Come on, JIS. It's not like back in the day when we only had one university in Jamaica. We have countless universities now. The progress of Jamaica, the next step in Jamaica's, in the writing of the future of Jamaica, the next step are the people that went at the university now are going to help to institute the next step of plans for Jamaica. Go talk to them. Plan with these universities, make the media department at Jamaica House, make arrangements with these universities, and to have these lectures, to have these discussions, because the young people in school today, whether if you're there third form, right up to university, the new Jamaica is going to impact on your lives. So go talk to them. We have university in every parish of Jamaica now. So UCC I go to St. Thomas, Case down at Portland. Go and speak to the people. And where there's no university and you still need to speak to people, go at the church hall them or the community center in the parish, certain parish capital, go have town hall discussions. Because once you bring the information to the people first, whatever the opposition will come with after is not going to form any basis on any footing. The government seem to want to continue to wait until the PMP start tell lie and they lie them sinking and they realize it's sinking. That's when they want to come out. Lead the narrative. Share the vision of the new Jamaica with the people. And not everybody watch TVJ. And everybody listen to Nationwide. And not everybody have TikTok. Go to the people. We in a bush till 2 o'clock a morning time. I look vote. I climb all breadfruit tree. Go to the people. Take it to the universities. Discuss the way forward. Okay, my golden all of a sudden now want mash up NARA. Take NARA to the universities and discuss it with the students. Go to Church Teachers College. Go to Bethlehem. Go to all these places. Go to technology. Go to off-site UWI down at Mobile. Go to off-site over here. So go to UCC. Go to Northern Caribbean University. Take the information to the people, and then you will have a natural buy-in. You will have a natural buy-in. If you do it that way, so you never fail.
Yes.
Lee Kuan Yew did it that way, and he survived. A matter of fact, you do not hear anybody refer to Lee Kuan Yew as a dictator outside of some in-depth discussion. They don't. Because he brought prosperity to his people in a democratic way.
You better believe that. Protecting the psychological impact of negative criticism has definitely hurt Jamaica. I don't know the measurement of it, but the opposition seeks legitimacy by discrediting the performance of the government, and that can play on the minds of people because the constant criticism. A lot of people believe it, and you keep repeating things over and over. So it is by design. You are saying, Protected, that there has to be a strategy that combats this, and you are saying, go into the institutions with your plans. Let them understand what you are doing. So people, when they hear the criticisms, they will say, "Oh, that's a lie."
The danger is allowing, especially for an extended period of time, and we're talking about the repetition of whatever information will be shared by the opposition. So there are two factors here to consider, neighbor. If you allow your opponent to lead the narrative, your opponent literally is leading. But if you give your opponent enough time to repeat the narrative, then you know repetition makes something true, even though it might not be true. And then once you have that kind of situation now, it becomes harder for you, who still have a narrative to share, which might be the truth. It becomes harder for you now to even find a space in people's minds after the mind have already been prepared to reject what you are coming with.
There is uncertainty.
There is uncertainty. So it becomes so much more difficult for you to find even a small space for that truth to germinate, to start grow. And I cannot understand the common sense in the politics, if there is any, of our current government. You have heard me on this countless times, hundreds of times. Lead the narrative. You are the ones developing the policy. The opposition is not in the room of the policy. The only time the opposition knows of the policy is when you table it in the parliament. Why can't you develop the policy, start discuss it with the people, meaning you're leading the narrative. So by the time it reach a parliament figure table, the opposition is already on the back foot. What is so difficult with that? What is so difficult with that? So you're always as a government caught on the back foot because you carry the policy to parliament now, and the opposition chuck off money like a mugrat. And then the opposition might make some sense. Can't take nothing away from them sometime because they are appealing to people's emotion. Then what you do? You run back to the drawing board now if you change up something at the policy. What you do? You look weak. Leadership look weak right there, so. But if you are taking it to the people and have the people themselves directly share their concerns about what you're presenting or ask the questions so you can answer, then by the time it becomes a paper to table in the parliament, you would have already arrived at a position that the people have already warmed up to. So it provides, it creates some difficulty for the opposition to even push back against it because it
All right, let's leave it here. I